Introduction. Facebook is a massive traffic monster. As of this writing, it has over 1.3 billion, and that's with a capital B, daily active users. Think about that. Over 1.3 billion people using the same website day after day. On top of this, it continues to grow. Also, when people are on Facebook, they pretty much stay there, and they view page after page of content. In fact, on a month-to-month basis, as of 2017, Facebook has slightly over 2 billion monthly active users. Of all Americans, 79% use Facebook at some level or another. If this wasn't impressive enough, the next platform that gets the highest percentage of American users is Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. Instagram clocks in at 32% of American usage. Among U.S. residents, 53% reportedly use Facebook several times a day. In terms of the world's total population, more than 22% of people on the planet use Facebook with some level of frequency. The point is, Facebook is a massive traffic monster. You really can't afford to miss out on Facebook and its marketing potential. If this wasn't impressive enough, wait, it gets even more mind-blowing. Once people log into Facebook, the system basically keeps tight surveillance on them. And the crazy thing is that this is all done with their permission. When you sign up for Facebook, there is a user license agreement that you must consent to. Unless you read the fine print, you wouldn't become fully aware that once you sign in, every like, comment, share, as well as pages that you liked and even ads that you clicked will be monitored by Facebook. It's as if by watching your behavior, Facebook can make educated guesses as to what your interests are and can then show you advertising that fits those interests. Sounds pretty fair, right? Well, this extends across the board. That's right. Every group you join, as well as interactions on Messenger, are monitored, tracked, and targeted by Facebook. This is not lightweight targeting, mind you. When it comes to fine laser targeting of demographic groups based on individual user behavior, nothing even comes close to Facebook. As awesome as these traffic statistics, advertising technologies, and promotion potential may be, I've got some bad news to report. Too many businesses still fail to fully leverage Facebook. This training teaches you the best ways to promote on Facebook. It also gives you step-by-step instructions so you can engage in Facebook marketing with a higher than average chance of success. Paid Page Boost Campaign. Another way you can get a lot of traffic from Facebook is by using a paid page boost. Basically, you are paying for the promotion of your page. This is different from a page post boost. You're not promoting the content of your page, you're promoting the page itself. This is a great way to get page likes and to broaden the statistical demographics of your page. And why is this important? Why is it a big deal that you get a broad statistical demographic snapshot of people truly interested in whatever it is you are promoting? You have to understand that Facebook works best when you target people by their interests. This is a bit tricky because if your page is statistically inaccurate as far as your niche is concerned, you probably would have a very faulty set of targeting parameters. You're not quite there when it comes to getting the interest of people you're trying to reach. This is why it's crucial that your page gets a truly honest snapshot of the range of interests as well as demographic information of the people who are actually interested in whatever you are promoting. This is hard to achieve if you are just promoting your page organically. Maybe you're not putting in that much time in getting the word out about your page. Perhaps you are just sharing the word on several groups that may not line up, demographically speaking, with your niche. Whatever the case may be, there might be a blind spot there. This is why I suggest that at least at a minimal level, engage in some sort of paid page boost campaign. Make sure your page is mature enough before you launch a paid page boost campaign. Make sure that your page has been around for a long enough time for it to build up enough user insight, as well as engagement levels for you to accurately target the demographic you should begin with. This is important. If you're able to pull this off, then your demographics will help you run more successful campaigns involving your content or your direct traffic campaigns. These are campaigns that direct traffic from Facebook directly to your target website. You're going to do that primarily using a lookalike audience campaign. Make sure you're ready for a sponsored page ad buy. When you're buying a sponsored page ad campaign, make sure your page looks good. Make sure you're sending the right signals both in terms of graphics and text. You don't want to waste your money, so make sure that at least everything looks like it's ready to go. There has to be enough solid content on your page. This increases the likelihood that you will get a decent amount of page likes. Where does all this lead to? As I have mentioned above, if you get a lot of page likes, you will be able to target your intended audience better. In addition to that, you may be able to increase your reach because the more people that like your page, the bigger your base visibility becomes. If a lot of those people actively engage with your content, that percentage increases, but you're still dealing with the reality that your content will only reach a fairly small percentage of the people who have expressed interest in your content. When you increase the total amount of likes you get, you still have that same small percentage, but the raw numbers are bigger. Believe me, 10% of 100 is definitely going to be smaller than 10% of 100,000. Which position would you rather be in? This is why it's always a good idea to build up your page likes. Hand in hand with this is the fact that you can profile your users better, as I've mentioned above. This higher level of profiling paired with better content management and targeting on your part can lead to more content visibility. How come? Well, your reach can increase because of higher engagement levels. If you pay attention to what kind of content people really like on your page, and you produce more of that content and you fine-tune it so people are more likely to engage with it, this can increase your organic reach. This makes your content more visible. What is engagement? Well, people can share your stuff. They can like, they can react, they can comment. Whatever the case may be, get them to do it. And the best way to do this, of course, is to make sure that the right people are attracted to your page and you put the right content in front of the right eyeballs. Unfortunately, this doesn't happen overnight. It is neither smooth nor easy. It's one of those things that you figure out on your own on a trial and error basis. But you do have powerful tools like Facebook's Audience Insights to see which content is resonating with your audience members. You can't just set this up and forget about it. You have to actively monitor it. You have to look for patterns. But the crucial ingredient to all of this is that your page gets enough likes. That's why you have to promote it at some point. Paid traffic campaigns. For this section, I'm defining paid traffic campaigns in two forms. I can pay to boost the post, or I can pay for direct traffic to my target website. Please note that I have presented this information in that order. Boost posts first, and then pay for direct traffic. There's a reason for this. If you don't master Facebook's traffic to your page posts, then it doesn't make sense to go directly to your target website. You probably are going to spend a tremendous amount of money, time, and effort only to have very little to show for all that. It's better to boost a post in a strategic way so you can understand what kind of content connects with your intended audience. You will then be able to drive traffic to your website. You're actually killing several birds with one stone. By focusing on boosting a post, you can get more page likes, you can get more branding opportunities, and you can also get click-throughs to your target website in the form of a content link. Here's how it works. Post boosts. First, target a lookalike audience based on your user insight demographic. In other words, Facebook is going to show your ad to a fresh set of users who share the same demographic details and interests as your current page fans. People with these similarities are more likely to like your content. You're not going to pay Facebook to show your post to people who have already liked your page. Instead, you are trying to get fresh eyeballs to your page posts. You do run quite a bit of risk. Existing audience post boosts. The next option you have available to you is to boost your post to people who have actually liked your page. These are your actual page fans. They know roughly what you're about. They like your content enough to like your page. They're expecting your content. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, Facebook only shows your content to a small fraction of people who liked your content. Unless your fans select see first when they like your page, Facebook will use its natural algorithm to select the initial group of eyeballs that will show your page content. If enough people engage with your content, then Facebook will show even more of your page fans to your content. However, it's never going to show it to 100% of your fans. That rarely happens. This is why it's a good idea to boost your post to reach more of the people who have liked your page. The upside to this is these are not virgins. They've seen your page. In fact, they've seen it and liked it so much that they have clicked the like button and want to see your content. At least you know that there is some sort of interest there. Still, please understand that while there is a certain degree of familiarity there, and this increases the chance that these people will actually engage with your content and possibly click through to your target site, that isn't exactly guaranteed. Existing audience plus their friends. As the old saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. Friends usually have shared interests. In fact, if you think about it hard enough, that's the main reason we became friends in the first place. We have certain interests in common. We have certain things to talk about, and that's why we're friends. Makes a lot of sense, right? Well, you can apply that to Facebook marketing as well, because this can produce a tremendous amount of marketing opportunities. Since your page fans also have friends on Facebook, you can buy a post boost that shows your ad not only to your fans, but to their friends as well. This is my favorite when it comes to post boosts because it is a cheap way of getting clicks to your target site. You reach a much wider audience. Please understand that if your page has a fairly small number of likes, even if you boost post after post, you only have a small base to work with. Now, if you expand that base by including your existing audience plus their friends, you have a lot more people to work with. You are operating with some level of confidence because you know that friends usually have shared interests. This translates to possibly cheap clicks to your target site. The best way to do this is to post a link directly to your content or to your promotional page on your website with some content. This way, when someone clicks through, they go straight to your website. They can read your commentary and some preview text, but the text should call them to action. This is the cleanest way to get direct traffic cheaply using post boosts targeting your existing audience and their friends. Direct traffic to your target site. The next option is to promote a target URL directly. It doesn't show a post from your page. It just goes directly to your target website paired with a picture. This is the direct traffic option on Facebook. To become successful with this, you have to use the lookalike audience based on your engaged users' insight data. In other words, your Facebook page should be mature enough for you to get solid consumer intelligence that you can then use to target potentially interested audiences on Facebook. That's the best way to do this. There are other ways. You can run raw targeting. Basically, you're not relying on user insight. Instead, you're just looking for an age range and a geographic location. You're also using gender. In certain situations, this may pay off. In fact, you may get better results than lookalike audiences, but generally speaking, you should focus on using the consumer intelligence your Facebook page gathered so you can reach people who are very similar to people you know have demonstrated a solid interest in whatever it is you're promoting. Best practices. Use them to boost your results. First, run small tests. This enables you to fail quickly. People who really know their way around Facebook run campaign after campaign after campaign until they're able to connect the dots and come up with a campaign that actually works. This is why you need to run small, cheap tests so you can easily see which campaigns are working out and which ones have failed. Next, make sure your budget is low. Usually, when I run a $1 campaign, that is good enough for me. $1 a day for 7 days a week, that is good enough for me to see if an ad has potential. So, I would run several ads. We're talking about $70 for 10 ads running at the same time. Third, focus on what works. Let me tell you, when you run many small tests, the winners stand out. Either they get clicks or not. That's the bottom line. However, at this stage, you're not just looking for clicks. You're not just looking for an ad campaign that gets a lot of attention. Instead, you're also going to look for an ad campaign that actually delivers conversions. You're going to have to set up your Facebook pixel to your target website so you can track whether traffic from Facebook went all the way through. I'm not just talking about traffic produced when people click on your link and they go to a content page and they leave. That's worthless. That's not going to help you. That traffic has to go to the content page, go to the sales page, and eventually make it to the shopping cart. That's when you know your campaign actually has traction. Focus on what works. Focus on what gets a high click-through rate paired with a conversion rate. However, to get there, you're going to have to burn through many ads. This is not going to jump out at you. It's not going to be obvious. It's not going to be easy. Once you have identified that ad and you've fine-tuned it, then scale it up. That's how this works. Basically, you focus on what works and then pour real money into it.